sniffs them out anywhere over the map.
You don't see that on a player on Astralis.
Yeah, so Team Liquid, they have their own identity and they have the players to back it up. It is Nitro on that secondary AWP, and he's certainly no slouch. This is one of the most ridiculous rounds of Counter-Strike I've seen in a very long time. A full ace from him, and they have got that backbone in Taco. We don't talk about it enough, but I truly believe he has helped revolutionize their game. You've already got the aim stars. You didn't have to worry about that. But bringing Taco in, he's what some other teams, the likes of MIBR, lack.
It was very curious when this trade happened, right? Steel was in the roster and then came Taco to take his place. And it seemed weird. It didn't really feel like an upgrade. It just felt like a one-for-one. Okay, he can do the job, so why does this seem necessary? But Taco's really come out of his shell, and he's fragging a little bit harder. He's fragging a little bit harder in this roster than what he was, obviously, as a pure support player within the realms of SK Gaming. So I think that we're getting to see more of him, and for him personally, that has to be so much nicer to get a bit more credit when he is getting it done in the server.
Yeah, he's been fragging.
Yeah, and he definitely brings the vibe of Liquid up, because these guys are all, the other four I know are pretty prone to tilting, whereas Taco seems to have that positive vibe going all the time. He's able to crack a joke. Look at him right now. He's smiling.
He'll be the only one smiling. Watch this.
The only one.
100%. Naf's never smiled a day in his life.
I mean, Zeus brings the smiles as well.
That's true. Zeus does as well, but he can't talk in the game.
I think Elige is all an act as well. I think Elige, this is all his character. He's like trying to be this Counter-Strike robot, because as soon as we talk to him watching the Counter-Strike, he's got a big beaming smile on his face. He is Ella giggling.
Twist just smirked.
He did?
I saw it.
Oh my goodness.
Now this is the hard-hitting analysis everyone pays us for.
That's what we're here for. But Twist, an interesting conversation for those perhaps who haven't been following every Counter-Strike tournament recently. Twist made an interesting announcement that he has been deliberately chewing gum in their games, in their official games, for one reason and one reason only. It stops him complaining and helps him concentrate. It stops him complaining.
Really?
He has to basically think, is what I'm saying worth stopping chewing for? So, and he says it's been revolutionizing.
As an ex-teammate of Twist, I can honestly say he's one of the most skilled players I've ever played with, probably the most skilled player I've ever played with, but yeah, he has these like sighs and he does that stuff.
The under the breath stuff is the most tilting.
Like,
if you're gonna complain,
come on, man,
just do it. Just get it out of the way. Don't be making and muttering under your breath, because that gets under people's skin. But yeah, the tilt factor for these guys is something which hasn't really been there, because they're winning most of their games, right? So when you're looking at how much success that they're having in the server, and hey, is that the likes of Taco doing it? Is that Zeus? Because you look at this team, Nitro's taken over the in-game leadership role, but Zeus is the dad. Zeus is the emotional heart, as well as the driving force, I think, behind this roster. And we have to note that he was part of SK/Luminosity when they won 2 majors. He was present to get a team to that point. So what he's doing with this Liquid roster right now, it's not unpredictable.
And the things I hear in passing conversation, while I hear those guys talk, they can of course sometimes join us before their game, and it's just so interesting because there is clear structure present that previously North America lacked. The fact is, Zeus is talking about a push a team did, and then Alicia's like, yeah, we all watched that one together. You don't remember? It's like, oh, yep, demo. You've got team demo watching, which I'm sure more teams are doing. I saw Complexity's video, they're doing it too. It's just refreshing to know it's happening, and it's happening regularly.
Yeah, Liquid was actually one of the first teams that brought that really structured practice regimen to North America. I know, yeah, like you said, they have blocked out times every day where they watch demos together, they review every scrim together, they talk about things that they can improve. They don't just show up in scrim, and that's something that was really common in North America maybe like two years ago. Yeah. They really put an end to that.
Yeah, they've transformed it, and of course by doing so they've forced everyone else to keep up. Complexity, a prime example, 2-0 for them at the moment. We have to talk about their opponents as well though. It's the Ninjas in pajamas, and they have not had an easy run here. I want that to be said. The Ninjas have bested none other than Mouseforce on Mirage, but also Astralis, and we saw a victory versus Tyloo on Train. They have been climbing as they've been getting closer and closer to that top spot.
I think what's been really impressive for these guys, or at least an individual on the team, is this man right here, Lecro. He's put in some massive performances, and when we were coming out of the first Challenger stage and he had that huge game against Astralis to get them across the line and even get them here, I thought that's not something he's going to be able to replicate time and time again. But when they played against Mouse Sports, he was playing fantastically well. Leading by example, he was in the front of the pack, finding opening kills and trading well, and he's continued that play. And that's something that, if this NIP roster wants to be dangerous, is going to have to continue. When the times get tough and the decision-making and the in-game leadership role does eventually take the toll, it's going to be curious if he will be able to keep up those performances.
Hunger present as well for the Ninjas in Pajamas. This roster is presented by dreamteam.gg, but that hunger comes from the fact that they haven't attended majors. In the last 2.5 years, Forrest was giving an interview just saying, like, we wanted this, we want every win, and also they're keeping themselves very humble and very self-aware that they are not there yet. They're not across the line, they're not in front of Wembley, and this is just another step they need to take. Hard work and indeed individualism coming out from the likes of Rez. This is his first major, and he just wants to do those guys proud, but also show us and the world what he's capable of.
Yeah, and this means a lot even for like the old players like Get Right. I know you started to tear up when they actually made this stage. They got their first win. I actually got a chance to talk to him, and he's really confident, actually. Like this team is the most confident I've seen NIP in a long time.
How many times have you said, "How you doing, bro?" and it's kind of been a forced smile and yeah, looking forward to it. It's not that. It doesn't feel like that anymore. They've got their swagger back. It does feel like the Ninjas have got a little bit of that flair back and that wind beneath their wings.
Yeah, and with that is that the vintage plays from Forrest. We saw in Stockholm, he was back to his old self, just tapping away heads, winning clutches. Get Right was doing the same. And you need to think about this now. Even though this is a legendary name, it is no longer the core of the team that we, you know, with the 87 and the 0 run that we were always talking about, right? Forrest and Get Right are the only two remaining members. Now you add in a new in-game leader and relative young player in his career of Lekro, who's been, I guess, passed around all the Swedish squads, found himself on Godsend, found himself on Fnatic, now he's found himself on NIP. You add Dennis in there, who is someone who is more of a hybrid player in my mind. You know, he gets it done, and then you can't forget Rez, who has had MVP performances dotted over his career, at least noteworthy ones, and that's kind of, I guess, the direction NIP has to go now. Think for the future.
But I love the conversation about Lekro, just because he has had such a, I don't know, like if you put yourself in his shoes, if you empathize with him, you realize it's actually been kind of a bittersweet experience for him breaking into Pro CS.
Yeah, I think if I were to ask Chad before Challenger Stage, list me 10 players that could have the highest rating in Challenger Stage, I guarantee you would not have named Lekro, right? But he did. He came out with a 1.49 rating, which is insane. That's their in-game leader, right? And I don't think he's in-game led a team before this version of NIP, right?
I think this is the time he's picked it up.
Yeah, I would add a caveat though. It did seem, and you get the vibe when you have that interview. And of course, here comes a little bit of a guesswork. You just don't know unless, of course, you sit there with their scrims. I think that this is very loosey-goosey in-game leading.
Yeah.
I admittedly, it's not.
That is true.
It's not Dennis. Dennis was very. That was when Chad, you'd sit at a desk and we'd repeatedly say, yeah, so they're probably going to do your usual defaults, and then they'll get a pick and push on it. Like, it does feel like there's a little more, but it's not. This is not Lekro, you know, with Rain Man numbers and maths all over his face.
It feels like they do opening moves and then they play well in the mid round, right? Once they take the territory and they trade quite well, and from that they're able to have good clutches. That's something that
does that have a limit?
Well, if you do defaults all the time and you're not getting your star players who are known for clutching into clutch potential plays, then you're not going to be winning rounds, right? And this, you can see how much they do struggle when they do a default and then they want to collapse back onto a bomb site. It can feel disjointed at times, and that's mid-round calling is one of the hardest things to learn as an in-game leader.
Yeah, but something I did praise them for yesterday, and they've shown the ability to do this actually throughout Challenger and yesterday, was executing on sites. And that's something that I haven't seen Ninjas in Pajamas do since, you know, Threat was coaching their team. And even they wouldn't do it all the time back then. Players kind of resisted that a little bit. So I don't know what made them change, whether it's Lekro, PETA, or maybe it's just like a realization that they need to do this. But yeah, I was really impressed with their B execute on Mirage and their A execute.
And you guys are getting me hyped up for this game. Unfortunately, I have to be the bearer of bad news. Don't shoot the messenger. It does sound like we've got some server issues that Valve are actually currently looking into. So we aren't going to be jumping into this game just yet. But do not panic. We'll be bringing you this game ASAP. We're just going to take a little break, get everything sorted, get all those bugs squashed, and we can jump into the world-class Counter-Strike with a nice level playing field.
sun comes up, it's our last goodbye. Won't let go, I don't wanna leave paradise. You make everything feel alright. You bring every piece of me to life. When we're looking as I lose my mind, my mind. Amnesia. Crash like waves playing in the sand. Live life hard, never looking back. Life's too short in the promised land. Promised land. You make everything feel alright. You bring every piece of me to life. When we're looking as I lose my mind, my mind. Я что вижу, то пою, ногами топаю, на радио волну мотивом пристаю. Я к тебе же пристаю, глазами лапаю. В этой ночи мы движемся под лампою. Спасите, сити от нас ненормальных, алкоголь, танцы, все аморальные. Спасите, сити, клубник в шоколаде, она из моих рук и ночью.
Клубника в шоколаде, давай делать людей, давай ночью не спать, с кровати не вставать. Клубника в шоколаде, ты не знаешь обо мне, мало ли, таких как я на земле. Клубника в шоколаде, давай делать людей, давай ночью не спать, с кровати не вставать. Клубника в шоколаде, ты не знаешь обо мне, мало ли, таких как я на земле.
Клубника в шоколаде, давай делать людей, давай ночью не спать, с кровати не вставать. Клубника в шоколаде, ты не знаешь обо мне, мало ли, таких как я на земле.
И ты движешься как в гибке, татушка на лодыжке, одышка после снежки. И ночь наш общий друг, минватуры мы не спим. Летом говорим, без буду взлетать, новых людей создавать. Айда прыгать с парашютом, ароматом опьянён. Ты набила на лодыжке буквы наших имен. Панорамы красят вечер, я звоню этим двум, чтобы отменить все встречи, ведь я встретила одну. Клубника в шоколаде, давай делать людей, давай ночью не спать, с кровати не вставать. Клубника в шоколаде, ты не знаешь обо мне, мало ли, таких как я на земле. Клубника в шоколаде, давай делать людей, давай ночью не спать, с кровати не вставать. Клубника в шоколаде, ты не знаешь обо мне, мало ли, таких как я на земле.
Клубника в шоколаде, давай делать людей, давай ночью не спать, с кровати не вставать. Клубника в шоколаде, ты не знаешь обо мне, мало ли, таких как я на земле.
Bye-bye Dust 2, and their last choice, they do have Overpass. There's of course
In my
Cash and
opinion,
Mirage.
Liquid is one of the best cash teams in the world right now. From what I've seen and from what I've heard, these teams are one of the
Лети, 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 лети наверх. Нетронутые губы, слезы, ультрафиолет. Пьяная любовь, голая она. Я не знаю, кто ты, но останься до утра. Я не знаю, сколько градусов чили, чили. Она тоже не знает ни о чем, она тоже не знает ни о чем. Я не знаю, сколько градусов Чили. Она тоже не знает ни о чем, она тоже не знает ни о чем. Я доливает мартини, тини. Она даже не знает ни о чем, она тоже не знает ни о чем. Черный мар, черный стиль, четкий аппарат везет меня домой без сил. Черный день, сладкая вода. Я не знаю, кто ты, но останься до утра. Останься до утра. Останься до утра. Я не знаю, кто ты. До утра. Лети наверх. Нетронутые губы, слезы, ультрафиолет. Пьяная любовь, голая она. Я не знаю, кто ты, но останься до утра. Лети наверх. Нетронутые губы, слезы, ультрафиолет. Пьяная любовь, голая она. Я не знаю, кто ты, но останься до утра.
Maybe support that, you can do it. Go to upcomer.com. You can check it out on both the App Store, as you've named it yourself, on all that nice stuff, or Google Play if you have an Android phone, which is probably better and you probably should. And then you can vote on the games. You can let us know.
That's what I feel like as well.
That's nutty.
Definitely the more prestigious team in recent
самый плохой. Я хочу махать силой, но машу головой. Я хочу быть милее, но по факту очень злой. Мои бывшие друзья перескажут все с лихвой. Мои бывшие девчонки ненавидят всех парней. Я пытаюсь улыбаться, чтобы выглядеть добрее, но мои кривые зубы выдают кривую душу. Я уродлив, словно бог, и рассержен не на шутку. Я сую свой длинный нос в чужое грязное белье. Я хочу знать твою тайну, чтобы продавать ее. Все, что мне интересно, твои деньги, моя власть. Я давно перестал падать, еще ниже не упасть. Рифмую на глаголы, цепляю малолеток. Ни дня не работал и не жалел об этом. Ха-ха-ха, ха-ха-ха. Слишком плохо для тебя. Ха-ха-ха, ха-ха-ха. Я слишком плох для тебя, плох для тебя. Рифмую на глаголы, цепляю малолеток. Ни дня не работал и не жалел об этом. Рифмую на глаголы, цепляю малолеток. Ни дня не работал и не жалел об этом. Ха-ха-ха, ха-ха-ха. Я слишком плох для тебя, плох для тебя. Ха-ха-ха, ха-ха-ха. Я слишком плох для тебя, плох для тебя.
Above the edge of the ledge, and Taco reads that perfectly intact to take down Forrest as well. Good scout to take down the fist around, as we know. And the fact of the matter is Dennis is dead with only a single kill, which the USP, that's fine. One kill for him only. You've done.
для тебя. Раз, два, три.
Пару серий.
Пару серий для тебя, Дон. Короче, звони 24/7. Даже наши, Дон, кавказцы не понимают, что 24 это 7, это не цифра, Дон. Это сутки 24 часа, Дон. 7 дней недели, Дон. Так что, братья мои, дагестанцы, Дон, не обижайте друг друга, Дон. Хабиб, Тимати поймут, просто Хабиб без гоняет, поэтому он нервничает. Поэтому можно его понять. А вы чем занимаетесь? Ерундой занимаетесь, Дон. Каждому не лет, Дон, делаете, Дон, селфи и говорите, Тимати туда-сюда.